Oh, and it wanted us to find out what angle 4 was.
Yes. So it has to be adding up to 360. So angle 4 is, hold on, let me divide this.
So it doesn't have to add up to 360 because
no, it has to add
both of these come to 180, yeah, because they both sit on the pink line, don't they?
So 180 divided by 2.
Not quite.
No,
So
2 divided. It has to adding up to 180. It has to add up to 180.
Yeah.
So it can be 30. 3.
So angle 8 here at the bottom.
Yes.
Is equal to y, isn't it? Because they're corresponding.
Yes.
Does that part make sense?
Yes.
And now angle 6 and angle 8 is the exact same as angle 2 and angle 4.
Yes.
Because both of those are corresponding.
Yes.
And both of those sit on the pink line, don't they? They
Yes.
both. Oh, that is not what I was going to write. 110 degrees.
Yes.
And both of those, y plus 10,
70.
sit on the pink line. Yeah, so y is 70, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it just clicked. Yeah.
Yes, I get it now. Has to be adding up to, what's it called?
208, yeah.
Yeah.
If we did the sum angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 plus angle 4 equals 360, we could do it that way. It's just more work,
Yes.
isn't it? Because we could do, right, I know that angle 3 is opposite angle 2. So angle 3 is also equal to 110.
Yes.
So we could do 360 minus 110 minus 110 gives us, I don't know, 140 it would give us. But then we left over with two values, two angles that are equal to y, so we'd have to divide by 2.
Yes.
Where this is much easier if you just take the one line and add them together to make 180.
Yes.
Okay, good. Happy with that?
Yes.
What I think we'll do is we'll move on to bearings now, because I think it will be a nice change, and we'll just keep practicing these types of questions, and we'll build the corresponding and alternate angles bits up.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, so have you heard of bearings before?
No.
No, that's okay. So they're nothing to be frightened of. A bearing is just an angle measured in a special way.
Yeah.
So it's measured clockwise. Do you know what I mean when I say clockwise?
Yes.
Yeah, it goes in the way of the clock, yeah. And I presume you've heard north, south, east, west,
Yes.
the directions?
Yes.
So a bearing is an angle which is measured clockwise from north, so the point north. So here's two little examples below. We've got two aeroplanes shooting off in two different directions.
Yeah.
And from the angle north, from the point north,
Yes.
if we take the angle that is clockwise from north, we can read off the bearing.
Yes.
The bearing of this first one with the black angle lines, we would write as 3030 degrees.
Yes.
Because bearings are given using 3 numbers all the time, 3 figures,
Yes.
and always measured in degrees.
Yes. So,
And yeah, go on.
how will I be able to measure this?
Are you looking at the workbook page?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if we look at the workbook page, you'll have to use a protractor. Have you got a protractor?
Let me get one quickly.
Yeah, no problem.
Yes. So
Oh.
how would we do that?
Have you ever used a protractor before?
Yeah, but I don't know how to. I've tried, but I don't know how to.
Okay. So, well, what we'll do is
Will it?
I'll show you an example first on how to use the protractor. So say I have an angle like this,
Yes.
and I want to find the angle X,
Yes.
this angle. I would get my protractor, so let me get it up. And this point here is the center point.
Yes.
Can you see where I'm circling with my red dot?
Yes.
At that point, we place on the part where the two lines intersect each other.
Yes. So that dot in the middle.
Yeah? And then it's really important to make sure that these zeros on the end, so there's a zero there and there's a zero there, are lined up with the line you're trying to measure from.
Yeah.
So you can see mine kind of is, it could be a little bit straighter, so I'm just gonna...
90 degrees is north. No, 90 is north.
Yeah, north is always 90 degrees, yeah. But in this case, can you see? So I'm gonna measure this angle X.
Yeah.
So you choose which numbers to measure from, either the black or the blue,
Yeah.
by looking at which zero your line is sitting on.
Yes.
So I'm going to measure up this way because that's my angle X, isn't it?
Yes.
And this line is 0 on the blue part. Can you see that?
Yeah,
on
but-
my blue bit?
I already reached 0 before reaching B.
Yeah, are you trying to measure this?
Yeah.
Okay. Ignore that for 1 second and focus on this just to show you how to use the protractor.
Okay.
Because it's different for bearings, but this is how you use a protractor. So you find the line where 0 is,
Yes.
and you measure along the thing. So where does my angle line go on my protractor on this screen? What is the angle X?
125. No. From here to there. So 125 to 180. So will we have to subtract them?
No. So I'll explain that again. So to determine whether I use the black numbers or the blue numbers, all depends on which point you're measuring from. So I am measuring in the direction anti-clockwise in this example,
60?
because that is where my angle X is.
60?
Not 60, you're close, getting closer though. So I measure, starting on the blue 0, I measure up this way.
Yeah.
To where my line for the angle X meets the
It stops
protractor
here.
line.
Stops
And
there.
it meets there. And because I've started on the blue 0,
So it's
I look at
65.
the blue lines, not 60,
65.
not 65, getting closer, but you're too high.
No, 55.
So 55. So this one is bang on 55, isn't it?
Yes.
If I wanted to measure the angle, this one, wait a minute, this one, Y,
Yeah.
then my 0 is on the black line because I'm going to measure it this way.
Yes.
So then I look all along the black numbers till I get to my line, and that would tell us that Y is 125.
Yes.
And this uses the fact that X plus Y is a semicircle and is 180 degrees. Okay, so looking at this, we need to place our protractor on the center circle where the two lines intersect each other.
Yeah.
But like I said on the other page, we need to measure this bearing starting at north.
Yes.
Always. Bearings are always measured at north. So you need to turn the protractor so that the 0 starts at north.
Yes.
So can you see? On this one, I'm using the black
Yeah.
numbers this, and we're going to measure clockwise. So clockwise is this way to where the point B is.
Yes. Why is this not working?
So my angle won't be exactly the same as yours because this photo is slightly got a curved page. So you will know what the real angle is, but I won't be able to get the complete real angle.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you move that quickly? I wanna. Sure.
This.
Yeah. I put the 0 here. Here.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's not even. So.
By the 0 you mean the black, the 0,
Oh.
the number 0.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I got one. 8. Hold on. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. I got 80 measuring from blue.
Okay. So I can't see what your protractor looks like. Is your when you say measuring from blue, do you mean the outside?
Yeah, the little ones.
The little ones, okay. So if we were going to measure from blue, the blue 0 would have to be aligned with north. So I would have to turn my protractor this way, but it doesn't make any sense because then I can't measure this angle, do you see?
Yeah.
Because now my blue 0 is on the top.
Yeah, I mean these ones. The one on the outside.
The one on the outside, okay, good.
Yeah.
So you put it on, line it up with 0, and then you look at the outside numbers and measure all the way around. And where B either touches the black line or points to on the black line is going to be the angle.
I got 89.
89, okay, I trust you. So can you see, if I was going to measure this one, mine is like 114 maybe?
I got 85.
But my page is bent, like curved, so I'm not going to get the exact right number. But if you've got that, then that's what you write down.
I got 82 from outside.
Cool. So then 82, you write that in there. Okay. So the bearing of D. The wording of these questions is really important. The bearing of D from C is 290 degrees.
Yeah.
Circle the diagram that shows this. So the bearing of D from C.
Oh, okay, so north.
So yeah, remember we start at north.
Where does it have to go from C? From D?
Start at north, go clockwise.
From D to C, okay. Is 290. From the inside or outside?
So all of these have been drawn correctly. They've put the north line at C because that's where we're measuring the bearing from. And then they've taken the bearing at D. So if we start at north and go clockwise from C, we get to D here,